guys, I hope you're having a wonderful start to 2020. Today's look is going to be a makeup tutorial and hijab tutorial on this Queen Serenity inspired look. Perfect for if you're into cosplay or if you just love doing dramatic looks, whether that's dramatic hijab styles or makeup. This is the video for you. Originally I posted this on Instagram and you guys really wanted a video, so I really hope this video answers all your questions and helps you recreate the look as well. If you guys are interested in stuff like this, be sure to subscribe and follow me on Instagram at saima. But without further ado, I'm just going to jump straight into this video. Okay, so first up, I'm going to start off by priming my eyelid, and I'll be using the NARS Tinted Smudge Proof Eyeshadow Base in the shade Medium. If you have oily eyelids or eyelids that tend to crease, this is literally my savior. Like, there's a time where I used to use concealer because I thought that was like the shit, but no, honey boo. If you want something to stay on all day, you need a good ass primer, and this is the one for me. So I'm just going to place that on my eyelid and blend it out using a brush. Once we've primed, it's time for eyeshadow. For this look, we need some grey tones, so I'm going to be grabbing the shade Calm from the e.l.f. Opposites Attract palette. I'm just going to place it on my eyelid and then generally blend it out. I'm trying to keep like a slight like cat-like shape to the eyes. I hope my words are making sense. I'm not a makeup artist, but hopefully y'all can see what I'm doing and you kind of get what I'm trying to say. Once you've got your grey base down, it's time to move on to the glitter. So I'll be using a glitter glue, and I'll also be using a silver glitter that I got from Illamasqua. This is the Illamasqua Jewel Vinyl in the shade Wizard. Honestly, so beautiful. It's kind of like a pressed glitter that can loosen up, so there's not like a crazy amount of fallout. You have a bit more control, which I prefer, rather than just using like a whole ass like loose glitter, because that shit will get everywhere. And my plan with the glitter is to sort of have it build up, so on the edges it's like super intense, and then it gets sort of faded out in the center, and then starts building up near the inner corner again, so it's kind of like a halo effect. And to do this, I basically get the glue on a separate brush. I draw out the lines and the design that I want, and I just go in with the glitter on top, and that's kind of how I create it. I'm trying to create like a slight ombre effect. It didn't work out that well. It's always the case whenever you're filming, it doesn't go well, but I feel like in the end it kind of turned out okay. So once we've done that, we have a nice little gap in the center of our eyelids, which we're going to fill in. So I'm going to grab a silver shimmery eyeshadow, and the one that I'm using is Moonlight Silver from the Crystal Drama eyeshadow palette from Bobbi Brown. And I'm just going to dab that in the center of my eyelid, slightly blending it out because I want to have that ombre effect. I want it to be like heavy glitter to minimal glitter to heavy glitter once again. And once I feel like I've done a decent job, it's time to move on to some more glitter. So I'll be grabbing the Etude House Mirrorholic in the shade Mirror Mirror, and I basically put this on the back of my hand, dab it a few times with my finger, and then apply it to the center of my eyelids just to add a bit more pizzazz. Now, normally when I do looks like this, I try and get the lines to look really nice and crisp, but because my glitter glue just isn't the one, I'm going to go in with an eyeliner. So I'll be going in with this silver eyeliner that I got from MAC. This is the MAC Dazzleliner in the shade Statuesque. And I'm basically just going to go over the edges just so the lines are a bit more defined. So that includes the inner corner, the wing on the end, a little bit of like the arch. I just want it to pop and stand out. By the way, if you have any recommendations for like a good glitter glue, please let me know, because my one, it was good at one point, but now it's like it's not the best. I mean, I think it's probably time to throw it out because she not doing too great. Okay, she not doing too great. And once that's done, it's time to add a little bit of definition with some eyeliner. I'll be using this Stila Stay All Day Waterproof Liquid Liner, and I'm basically going to give myself a very thin outline of the eye with like a little bit of a baby wing. I don't want anything too crazy. I literally want it just to define the eye, so later when I put on my lashes, like it looks like, you know, we're working with a little some, because I've noticed with my eyes, if I don't line them like even a tiny bit, they look really weird. I need to have some sort of liner, okay? So this one is the one for me. I'll be grabbing the NYX White Liquid Eyeliner and giving myself a little bit of a wing. I kind of want this eyeliner to start from the center of my eye outwards. I don't want to focus on like the inner corner. I want it to be from the middle to the very end. Now I'm just going in with my black eyeliner from before just to clean up the edges to make sure it's nice and sharp and neat. And there we have it, guys. That is the eye makeup almost complete. I'm just gonna nip off camera and put on my contact lenses. The ones that I'll be wearing are the Real Crystal lenses from TTDI. Usually I hate contacts like this because it makes me look like a dinosaur, but this time I'm kind of feeling it. Anyway, now it's time to move on to our top lashes. So I'm gonna start off by curling my lashes, and then I'm gonna go into the mascara that I got from Heroin Make. It's a volume and curl mascara in the shade Black. Honestly, one of the best mascaras ever. Keeps your lashes curled and defined and looking fabulous. this. It is a little bit of a struggle to get it off, but if you get a really good waterproof eye makeup remover, it is like the one for you. Once the mascara is done, it's time for lashes, and I'll be using the Fatia's World 3D foaming lashes in the style Zahara. And there we go, guys, that is the eyes almost complete. We're gonna come back to them later after we do like some foundation and concealer and all that jazz, so just you wait. Okay, so for base makeup, I'm gonna start off by priming my face using the e.l.f. Hydrating Face Primer, Prime on the Go. Once your face is primed and ready, I'm going to go into foundation, and I'll be using the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Hydrating Longwear Foundation in the shade 210. Oh my goodness, this has slowly become like one of my favorite foundations. Like with the previous Pro Filter, I had my moments where I really liked it. I had my moments where I really hated it, because honestly my skin was like doing the whole thing, and sometimes it was like yay and sometimes it was like nay. But I think if you have dry skin or combination skin, this one is the one for you, because honestly it is so good. Oh my god. Next up, it's time for some concealer. So I'm actually going to be using two to create the perfect shade. So first up, I'm going in with the e.l.f. Camo Concealer in the shade Tan Sand, and then I'm going to use the e.l.f. Camo Concealer in the shade Medium Sand just to add a bit more of a highlight. You know the drill. I put it under my eyes, on my nose, on my forehead, and I blend it out using a brush. Next up, it's time for a little bit of bronzing, and I'll be using the Revolution foundation stick in the shade F14. I'm just applying this in the usual areas, like in the hollows of my cheekbones, around my forehead, around my jaw, and I'm blending it out, giving me some warmth, a little bit of dimension to my face. Before I continue with the rest of my face, I'm actually going to jump back into the eyes. So I'm going to be grabbing the same grey eyeshadow from earlier and running that along my bottom lash line, giving me a bit more drama, pulling in the colours around my eyes. And then I'm going to grab some of that Etude House Mirrorholic in the shade Mirror Mirror and place that along my lash line as well, because I want to keep like the glitter glowing. I want to keep it going throughout the entire look, so I'm going to add a little bit of that using my finger. And now it's time to tightline. Not my favorite exercise, especially when you have contacts in. I really didn't think this through. But anyway, I'll be tightlining my upper eyelid, my upper lash line, using the Aritham waterproof pencil in the shade Dark Brown. So for my waterline, I'll be using the NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil in the shade Milk. I'm just gonna get my mascara from earlier and put that on my lower lashes as well. I'm also going to add a little bit of inner corner highlight, so I'm going to use this gorgeous shimmery shade from the mcgrath Labs Mothership palette. It's literally the most beautiful sparkling eyeshadow I've seen in my entire life, and it really just completes the eye makeup. And now we're back to the rest of the face, and it's time to powder the under eyes, and I'll be using the Bobbi Brown Sheer Finish Pressed Powder in the shade Soft Sand. With this concealer, you don't really have to powder, but because I do get creasing, I like to powder just a little bit, so I'm putting a little bit of that on and sort of just blending out everywhere, because I don't want it to be like concentrated in one area. I want it to like feather out, if that makes any sense. Now it's time for one of my favorite things, which is blush. I love blush so freaking much. There's a time I hated it, and now I live for the blush. So I'll be dipping into one of my favorite brushes, which is the MAC powder blush in the shade See Me Blush. I'll be putting it on like my cheeks and a little bit on my cheekbones, a little bit on my nose, sort of like giving me that anime kind of blush. I thought I needed some more, so I dipped back in and then realized, oh no, that was a big mistake. So then I spent the next 10 minutes trying to blend it out. And then once I blended that out, I went into my second blush, which is the Moonshot Air Blusher in the shade Soft Peony. I feel like this really helped blend it all out, make it look a bit more natural. And now it's time for some highlighter, so I'll be using the Fenty Beauty Kilowatt highlighter in the shade Fire Crystal, putting it on the usual places, you know, your cheekbones, your nose, the like Cupid's bow, a little bit on my chin. I usually do also put it around my eyebrows. However, we gotta do the eyebrows first before we jump into that step. So to make my eyebrows grey, it's really simple. I literally just get some of the concealer that I used earlier, put it on a spoolie brush, and just run it through my eyebrows, and that literally makes them Perfect and Grey. I generally tend to prefer using like more matte dry down concealers because they don't move at all, like they stay in place and they don't budge, which is perfect for if like you're trying to color your brows. So I'm using the e.l.f. Camo concealer from earlier. Now the first time I did this, I actually left my brows like a lighter grey, but then when I was filming I realized, you know what, I think it looked better if they're a bit darker, so I basically just mixed a bit of that concealer with the grey shadow that I used earlier on my eyes just to create like a little bit of a grey paste, and then I use that to fill in my brows to add a little bit more definition. And then when I felt like I needed to make it a little bit darker, I just went straight up into the grey powder and then just popped it on. Also, I don't know what's happening right now, but I'm having like deja vu of this exact moment. And once we're done with the brows, I'm just going to go back to my highlighter, put a little bit under my brow and a little bit over my brow just to highlight the whole area. And finally, we're onto the lips, which actually isn't the last step because there's 4 steps to the lips, so hopefully you haven't left me yet. So first up, I'll be applying the Fenty Beauty Stunner Lip Paint in the shade Unbutton, giving myself like a nice nude base. Once I've got it on, I'm going to blend it out using my fingers because I don't want any harsh lines or edges. I just want it to look nice and natural. And once I've done that, I'm going to go into the e.l.f. Sheer Matte Liquid Lipstick in the shade Nude Rose. And I'm going to apply that to the center of my lips, kind of covering all of my lips, but not all of my lips, like focusing on the center. And I'm going to blend it out again using my finger, just so there's a really nice natural ombre to the lip. You know, it starts off like kind of pinky and then goes like a nice nude. And then for the third step, I'll be grabbing the liquid lipstick from Zahara in the shade Boss and putting that in the very, very center of my lips, like literally right in the middle. And I'll be blending that out again with my finger, and boom, guys, boom. Look at that ombre. Now, because we're going for the drama, I thought I'd top it off with some gloss. So I'll be using the Dose of Colors Over the Top gloss, which is like a nice clear gloss with some gold glitter. Sometimes I feel like it's too much, but sometimes I'm just like, you know what? It's just the right amount. And there we have it, guys. That is the final completed makeup. Ooh la la. If you want to see how I do the hijab, then keep on watching because I'm gonna show you guys how to do space buns. Also, sorry, I lied. I completely forgot that I actually need to stick on the crescent moon to my forehead, so that's what I'm doing right here. I basically ordered this crescent moon from eBay and I'm gluing it to my forehead using some good old eyelash glue. It does the trick. It's fabulous. Alrighty, so now we're moving on to the hijab tutorial. Also, I know I have some like insane shoulder pads in this dress. It's a vintage dress. Please forgive. I was going to take them out, but because it's so delicate, I wanted to take my time, so I was like, forget it, we're just going to keep them in, we're going to go for the drama. Anyway, for this hijab tutorial, you'll need a long rectangle hijab, an underscarf, a whole bunch of pins, and 2 socks. Okay, so you're going to start off with your underscarf on, and then you're going to place your rectangle hijab on top. I like to fold mine over just so I don't see like the hem on the edge, you know, I want it to be nice and like smooth, so I fold it down, and I want to make sure both sides of the hijab are equal. And once that's done, I'm going to get the hijab, bring it around my head to the back, and flip the sides. So the left comes to the right and the right comes to the left. If you see my other hijab tutorials, you know where I'm going with this. Now that we've done that, it's time to make our space buns. For my space buns, I like getting a sock and rolling it up so it's kind of like a half sphere, if that makes any sense. And I literally just plonk it on my head and pin it down. You could also use like a hair donut or anything that is slightly spherical to give you like the shape. Once I've got them on and pinned down, I'm just going to double check that they are even, because if you want to adjust them, you got to adjust them now. You can't adjust them later or it'll literally just mess up everything. So get your space buns even. So now that your space buns are secure, you're going to grab the fabric from the right hand and you're going to bring it up and around the space bun. So we're going up and around, making sure the scarf covers the entire of the space bun and comes out neatly at the back. And once you're happy with how it looks, you're going to grab a little bit of the fabric from the back, bring it to the front and pin it down. Honestly, you don't have to bring the fabric from the back. You can bring the fabric from anywhere, so long as it's from like the draping part that's coming down. But I like bringing the fabric from the back because it makes the bun stand out a bit more. And once you've pinned it down, you have successfully created one nice space bun. It's now time to move on to the other side. And there you have it, guys. That is this whole hijab tutorial and makeup look. I really hope you guys enjoyed this. I tried to push myself with the makeup because sometimes I feel like my makeup can come across really basic. So I was like, you know what? Let's try more. Let's do more. So hopefully you guys really enjoyed this one. Hopefully you learnt a little some. If you guys like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And don't forget, you guys can follow me on social media at Saima Smiles Like. I'm always posting cosplay looks or like ooteds and stuff like that. So head on over there if you are interested in that. But yeah, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Hopefully it's helped you guys. and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!